Hey guys, Cameron here. Welcome to my outdoor adventure channel and welcome to my next video. Okay, for this video is another video in a succession of videos, all belonging to a video journal I have decided to do on my camping trip up the North Shore of Minnesota this summer. It is July of 2021, and I just decided to do a video journal this summer on this trip. Just kind of share some more of my experiences and also to kind of show you guys what kinds of gear I take when I go base camping. All right, this is base camping, and this is totally different thing camping per se that you would do if you were to go into the Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness or into the Quetico Provincial Park to the north here. You wouldn't take half this crap with if you were gonna go into one of those wilderness areas, okay? But the McFarland Lake campground here, indeed, the McFarland Lake is outside of the Boundary Waters Canoe Area. And so, in fact, it is surrounded by lakes that are in the Boundary Waters Canoe Area. But like I said, this is not, so we're able to take all this crap with us, okay? So this video is just going to be a brief tour of my campsite, showing you what kinds of equipment I take, yada yada, so on and so forth. So, but at any rate, first things first, the climate summary today is a very nice summer day. We've mostly got blue skies. There is some lower level cloud cover, but you know, it's a nice summer day. It's about, oh, I suppose about 75, and humidity is about 60%. And you know, I'm standing here with my shirt off, and I'm totally comfortable and warm. It's just one of those really nice summer days. So we did get a little precipitation last night. I was kind of surprised. Before I departed the Twin Cities last night, I did look at the long-range weather synopsis for this region that I'm camping in, and it didn't really say anything about precipitation. But for those of you that know this area, northern Minnesota, northwest Wisconsin, there's a big puddle down there basically, and it's called Lake Superior, and she has a lot to do with the climate that hits these areas up here, so a lot. So I would not want to be a weather forecaster that has this region to cover at all. So the weather's very predictable. So, but at any rate, it's been a very dry summer up here in northern Minnesota this summer, very dry. And so right now there's a fire ban. In fact, just before I started this video, a DNR, U.S. Forest Service vehicle pulled up, and it was two guys, and they were just basically going around saying that they want to make sure that nobody is doing fires, and that there is indeed a fire ban still in effect, despite the precipitation that we had last night. So I do have some firewood at the ready there in the event that the ban is lifted, but until it is lifted, I'm not going to burn a single stick of wood. So that's just my standard. So at any rate here, let's kind of get into the meat of the video here. I'm just going to walk around, folks, and just kind of show you the kinds of equipment that I use here. And you can see my partner in crime there, right down there, out like a light. We've been swimming and stuff. Water here at McFarland Lake is pretty nice. Okay, so, well, I suppose I'm going to start with this big red thing, right? When base camping, I do like to bring an umbrella. That is a nice feature to bring. Provides some extra shade and stuff, so that's kind of nice. You wouldn't want to take that on a canoeing trip. I mean, you could, but you're going to have to portage it, right? So what's the sense? Okay, so moving on. Okay, folks, so this is my fresh water supply here. And I basically filled those up in Grand Marais last night when we passed through. The Grand Marais Campground has a fresh drinking water distribution center. It's free. You can pull up and get as many gallons as you want. Well, I fill up those two 5-gallon uh, things basically every time I go to town too to resupply. I just fill them up there. These two smaller units down here, I just throw those in my backpack when I take day trips into the Boundary Waters here. They're just a much more practical size, obviously. So in the blue 5-gallon bucket here is water from McFarland Lake, and I use that for cooking. McFarland Lake has really clear water. It gets slightly greenish toward the very late summer, but for the most part, it's really clear. I mean, look, we've got 5 gallons in there. Look how clear that is. Now, I would not want to use. I would not drink water out of that lake without boiling it first. And I mentioned I use this for cooking, so I'm talking about making like mac and cheese, rice, where you have to bring the water to a boil. So I'm not advocating, just grabbing water and drinking it out of the lake. You boil it first, and I'm sure you've heard that before. So anyway, moving on. You can see, by the way, that this particular campsite has 2 tables. There are 7 sites here at McFarland Lake Campground. Some of them have 2 tables, some have none. So people have basically been moving picnic tables around, and I mean, the campground is not full at the moment. I suppose it's about 60% capacity. So there's tables, sites that are not being used with no tables. But I'm not going to move anything. I'm just going to use what I have here. So, okay, so moving on. Okay, so this is my power supply, folks. When I go base camping, I bring a big battery with me. This is a dual purpose battery. And I actually use that for a lot of things. I have a trolling motor that I go out in McFarland in, and that works just fantastic. Got a little Minn Kota trolling motor, about 55-pound thrust, really nice. But right now I've got my Sirius XM unit hooked up to it, and I listen to that all times during the day and at night, especially in the tent. Just put some peaceful music on if I want, but it's my XM. How do I get XM out here in the wilderness, you ask? Well, just a brief little side note here. That is a mobile XM unit, and so it comes with a 12-volt DC plug, as you can see there. So, and then you just pick up one of these at any automotive store, okay, and you hook it up to the terminals there, and that gives you power to the XM unit. And of course the antenna, just a cord here, right there, picks up the signal. It doesn't matter where you are, in the North Pole, Antarctica, you point it to the sky, it's going to pick up a signal. There's satellites up there. XM has them all over the place. And then you just simply tune your radio to the channel, the frequency that you have the XM unit set up to, and voila, you have Sirius XM in the wilderness. So that's how I do it. So this is my CC Radio Plus, and right now we got a little C.W. McCall playing on the 70s. Love my 70s, folks. This radio is a really good radio, by the way, to bring camping. It's called the CC Radio Plus, and it has lots of features on it. It is particularly clear with the human voice, so if you're listening to talk shows and stuff like that, it's really, really cool. But it's a great radio for camping because it's got weather, and it's got a couple different bands and stuff on it. This is about a 15-year-old radio. I've had it with me for a long time, taken on several trips. And there is a updated version on the market right now, and from what I understand, it has Bluetooth, but I really don't find that I need that, so I just use my trusted little CC Radio Plus. It's about 170 bucks for one of these, so last time I checked. Okay, so that's my music source. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so this Duluth pack here, I only bring one Duluth pack, and I keep all my general camping supplies in there. That's basically where I carry my camping stoves, lanterns. I put some fuel resources in there, things like extra canisters of propane, climbing cord I keep in there, hatchet saws, extra toilet paper, things like that. That particular Duluth pack came from the Gunflint Lodge, by the way, years and years and years ago. I suppose 25 years ago now. Um, but that Duluth pack's been with me everywhere. I love it. So, all right. So moving on. Okay, so in this tub here, um, this is where I keep all my hard dry goods. I'm talking like mac and cheese, rice, potatoes, cereal, anything you don't really want to get wet. There's a rubber seal all the way around there, and she closes it good and tight, and you keep everything like that. There's also a lot of staples, in there: flour, sugar, cinnamon, spices, stuff like that. Anything you basically, any food supply you don't want to get wet, you just stick in there, and it just keeps it dry. So this here is my main 5-day cooler. It works pretty good. It's not one of the better ones out there. It works all right. But in there I've got all my like dairy products, milk, orange juice. I also have all my meat products in there, just buried in lots of ice, and I keep that tarp over it to just kind of keep it a little extra cool. There's another one over there, but I use that for my beverages. So one for food and one for beverages. So okay, so moving on, let me quickly show you here where I'm at. Okay, so basically I'm using my mat here as a placemat when I eat meals. But what you're looking at here is a portion of the Superior National Forest, and we are right on that lake right there. Okay, so just to give you a little context. North, south, west, east, and McFarland Lake Campground. That little dot right there, that's right at that boat launch. There's a campground there, and that's where we are. So the McFarland Lake, like I mentioned earlier, is outside of the Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness, but all around there are lakes that are in the Boundary Waters. But the McFarland Lake is actually outside. So people can use power boats all on this lake. The lake altogether is, I suppose, probably about 1.5 miles long, something like that. But the real beauty is in all of these wilderness lakes around here. Pine, right here, Pine is like 8 miles long. And there's videos on my channel here, by the way, of campsites on Pine Lake, so you may want to check that out. But the real beauty is in these wilderness lakes that are around here. So at any rate, that's just an overview of where we are more specifically. So all right, so moving on. All right, so next we have my cook kit. Okay, in here I've got pots, pans, spatulas, silverware, cups, bowls, just a nice neat little package there. Just everything cooking related that you might need to make meals is in there. So on this end of the picnic table setup here is where I do all my cooking. And I basically have that strategy for a reason. I don't want anything near. I apologize for the wind, folks. She's kicking up a little bit now and then. But anyways, I don't want anything open flame or heat related anywhere near my tent. So in fact, any spark hits your tent, it will literally be up in flames in seconds. So that stuff is temp material is extremely flammable. So anyways, my strategy is to keep the cooking area as far away from the tent as I can. So, and that's why it's way down here on this end. But so I have a couple different methods, a couple different ways I can cook stuff. I've got the traditional barbecue there, little Smoky Joe. Those things are awesome. Got the charcoal down there in the orange bag, and got some charcoal lighter here. Also have a couple different fuel resources there. I've got some butane and propane, and I always take more than one stove when I go base camping. Um, and basically, it's just a common sense thing. You know, you get out there and it doesn't work, well, then you're screwed. So you have a second backup. That's the whole strategy there. So, but anyway, that's the propane one, and then my butane one is right there. It's really small, but that thing puts out. That thing really puts out. So butane burns just a little differently than propane. So, so yeah, well, that's my that's a lot of the gear I take, and we'll kind of cruise on over to the tent area here. Hope my umbrella's okay in this wind. Okay, so that's my comfy, cozy chair, a little zero gravity chair. Again, I wouldn't want to bring that on my Boundary Waters trip. Remember, everything you take on a Boundary Waters trip, you're going to have to carry from lake to lake. So that kind of sucks. So that's my other cooler where I keep my beverages. Try to keep it over here in the shade. Got my fishing rods, net, paddles, yada, yada, yada. My tent here. This isn't the usual tent that I take with me camping. And for those interested, there is a video of this tent. I did a profile of this tent on my channel here, so you can just look for it. This is the Hasika Screenhouse tent. I left my Alaskan guide tent at home. That's just really heavy duty, big, gigantic 6-man tent. I just left that at home for something that's a lot easier and quicker to set up. So, so that's this. So it's all right. It's about 6 feet tall. There's lots of room in there. That is my slumberjack cot in there. You know, got a lot of you know, my clothes, Bible, flashlights, more clothes into there. These blue things that you're seeing here, those are U-Haul moving blankets that I bought. And basic strategy behind that, obviously, is it feels a lot better under your feet in the morning than a cold tent floor. So those things are thick, and if there's any kind of little bit of moisture that gets into the tent, they absorb it like a towel, and they also dry out quickly too, so those are pretty cool. Okay, so that is my tent. It's pretty cheap tent too. I mean, material wise, it's like, this might be the last summer I have it. I don't know. But anyway, and then over there is my scrubby station, and that's where I wash my dishes, over there at the scrubby station in the woods there. So anyway, that is my camp. Kind of see here. Weird weather. Sun is out, then the sun goes back. It's windy, then there's no wind. What the heck? All my wood that I want to burn so bad, but I'm not going to. And I've got all this stuff that I can chop up and slice up, and I'm sure I will, just kind of clean things up here at this campsite. Never cut any green live trees, by the way, with a saw or axe. Just leave live green trees alone. Use only dead, downed wood or driftwood, things like that you can find. So, but anyways, that's basically it for this video. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. And if you find that this kind of material is of value to you, please hit the thumbs up and head on over to the bell notifications button and hit the hell out of that thing. And that way you get notified every time I publish a new video, okay? And I publish a lot of videos. On my channel here, there's probably like 150 videos and a wide array of interests on my channel here. Everything from boat restoration to cycling videos, all kinds of stuff. It's a great outdoor adventure channel. So, and if you like what you've seen here, please feel free to subscribe. I've got about 1,000 subscribers now, and I can always use you adding on, so that would be awesome. So, But I just want to thank you once again for tuning in, and look for more videos on this Arrowhead camping trip in July of 2021 on this channel here. I'll try to keep them in succession. So, all right, folks, thanks for tuning in.